Oh boy. It is time for the Midnight Calling. Midnight Calling? Now what exactly is that? And before you say anything, Chirag, where have you been? I mean, come on. Every time you show up, there's you always have a reason for not showing up. And when was the last time you showed up again? The Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer review? That was back in December. You did not show up since then. Like, your hiatus and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay. I've been getting that a lot from a couple of you guys, and I know you guys miss me. And quite honestly, so does Spottle Germex. Why Germex? Because Germex likes to keep the working clean. And, scars are gonna bother me. Not gonna mention how I injured myself, but it's not too bad. But, here's the thing of where I was in. Was dealing with college, and my sister was getting married, which by the way went well. And when I mean, it didn't go super well. I mean, when it came up to building all the stuff, it kind of became like I don't want to be here, but at the same time, like I was excited because my sister was getting married, and I was like party to the fullest, and not just I mean, ignore those hand motions. That I mean, it's the midnight, not it's not just midnight. It's the midnight. Like I said before, midnight anybody can act crazy. And honestly, right now, this is how I am at night. I just I'm just crazy sometimes. Crazy in a fun way. People can take that the wrong way, but whatever. Whatever that means, right? So, why did I come back? It's not just that, okay, it's been 5 months and I should come back, but it's also the fact that I have a reason to come back to this. Because I have been spending my time on my anime account, which I'm kind of pushing it off to the side because this is more important. My next short film, yeah, I know, the last short film, at least the last one I made, if we're not going to count the two side projects I did with my good friend Evelyn and Chris, those were kind of like my side projects. But the last main side project I made, which still needs to be up. I know I've been getting stuff about that here and there, but AHS, well, at least what was supposed to be the conclusion to AHS, the short film, the one that I made, it was done, and my plan was to have it up on YouTube as soon as I got done with it. But what happened? My flash drive and my USB drive. My 16 gig USB drive couldn't fit an 8 gigabyte film. Are you serious? No, because I remember I was trying to put it on how does a 16 gigabyte flash drive not fit in 8 gigabyte? Like, where's the logic behind that? I mean, if someone wants to tell me, just please, because I was looking at it, I'm like, why does this thing not fit? Like, it was done and everything. I mean, aside from putting, background music and stuff, it was like, where was it? Like, why can this not fit? And, okay, it wasn't exactly 8 gigs, but it was, at least 7.96. And my flash drive, which was also empty, I don't know, not my flash drive, but my SD card, couldn't fit either. So, and it became like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Luckily enough, I kept track with all the files. I don't know if my AV teacher still has my filmmaking teacher, I should say. I don't know if he still has the film on his MacBook, or not his MacBook, but his Mac. But if he has it, and I'm planning on something by high school again anyway, because it's been a while, and I've been actually meaning to visit some of my teachers over there since it's been a while, and part of me misses that place, but also, if I'm gonna go back to the high school for a visit, then there's important stuff I need to deal with. And AHS is one of them. I'm just saying. And here's the thing. The last episode, which you guys can probably remember, I ended it off with, oh, you'll find out soon enough. And I didn't do anything with it after that. And the short film I made was supposed to be the final conclusion of the film. And in this video, I'm going to kind of want to talk about what this short film is to be expected. Kind of like, okay, so why continue the story? And how did you manage to do this? Because I specifically stated a while back, I don't know how long ago it was, but I said that this was going to be like the conclusion to AHS. Like, there's going to be nothing after this. Well, after I got done with the film, and this is actually like months, like I mean like months after I got done with it, but I was scripting two other storylines, and it wasn't about AHS. It was about something else. One was about a kid getting stuck in an alternate reality, and people were viewing him in a different way compared to how people were viewing him in his reality. And when he got back, there's the evil side, well, the other side to the alternate reality, which got to his side, and it was an interesting idea, but at the same time, it kind of this script. It was also a fleshed out script too. And then I also wrote the script on time travel, which would have been interesting, but at the same time, I was like, time travel. Can I feel like the whole time travel thing, the whole Back to the Future thing? That's what it would remind me of. It's like, okay, so it was a good concept, but it's also been done before. And the alternate reality, I don't feel like it hasn't been done. So I was like, while I was searching for, like, it was okay, it was those two. And in December, I got this idea of, like, just, like, I was like, what if, like, because I was reading through the script and I was looking back over at some of the shots I did. Because the film isn't actually in its rough cut phase anymore, because the rough cut I had is at the high school. At least that's what I'm assuming. If it's not, then I came up with a backup. You guys know Jaleel Bailey, and 4J2000. He hasn't done a video in forever, but and with good reason why he hasn't done a video in a while. But I'll cover that for him. On his MacBook, he's got the editing program that I used when I used to be at the high school. So the fact that he still had that, I was like, if you have that, transfer the files that I have on here to there, because you know how much people have been waiting for this. This is probably like the highest anticipation that anyone's gotten from me. And because I'll be honest, because before I didn't get this much anticipation. Like as soon as AHS started, it was like anticipation. I remember like even my friend Avery. Okay, I remember when I was posting like the first 2 episodes. After that, she was like, "I want to see where this goes," and it, oddly enough, it got to a point where she even played one of my characters, like one of the characters that I made in the film. Now I'm not gonna say what her character does, cause I'm not the spoiler guy. I don't spoil things, cause I'm that nice, and cause I'm the director. What kind of director spoils things? Like I mean, look, if there's a trailer out already and such, yeah, I get it. But my trailer didn't even, wasn't even like, yeah, it was a continuation, but it was like it was more of just like, okay, it kind of giving you that vibe, okay, there is gonna be a continuation. And the trailer was something, I was like, alright, you had the flashback, and then after that, there was nothing else. So, on that aspect alone, I was like, okay. And after looking through the first film, like, looking through all the shots, and after I got done with, like, when the last shot came up, and just rewatching it. I was rewatching it actually like maybe at the best. I was probably rewatching it like 10 times that day. Then I thought, you know what, just for fun, because I didn't take it seriously back then. But I was like, because I know I was like, I'm not gonna film. No, I was like, no, I'm not gonna film this. But I sure as hell would write it, just for the heck of it. So I wrote the first maybe 4 scenes. Like, I wrote the prologue, I wrote scene 1, I wrote scene 2, I wrote scene 3, and it's not that it wasn't interesting, I was like, okay, like, it had like a good start. But then after the 13th, I was like, alright, let me write scene 4. And scene 4, oh my god, I'm not gonna say what happens, but when scene 4 hits, it takes the story, think of like a roller coaster. It's got like this slow start, and then suddenly, boom. Like that's what happens. And ignore this, because it's middle of the night. It's midnight. I don't care, because actually how I am right now in the middle of the night. I'm weird. Come on, everybody has their weird phase. Whether it's midnight or not, people have their weird phases. And if you don't, and see, if people say they don't, then they're just afraid to admit. Why? Because Germix. I haven't. I'll be honest. That's probably the one time on YouTube where I'm not being serious. At least I'm 100%. But, ugh, it smells so good. And I'm getting off track again. Okay, but here's the thing. Back to what I was saying. So after writing, like, once scene 4 hit, and I wrote the script, I was like, alright. I got invested in, like, okay, where did I want to take the story? And I kept writing it and writing it. Then I got to another point where I was like, this can totally work out. And when I got done with the script, I was like, alright. I enjoyed writing. Like, I had the scene, like, played out in my head, and I was like, this was really fun. Like, I enjoyed writing it, but I was like, I don't think I'm gonna film it. Ironically enough, 5 months later, make it 4, because this was like beginning of April. What ended up happening is, like, I was looking back on the 3 scripts: the time travel script, the alternate reality script, and the continuation script to AHS. So when I read them all, the time travel thing one kind of went off because I was like, no, because that kind of reminded me of Back to the Future, and I was like, I am not gonna do that. And the alternate reality, I was like, I like that idea because it's like, because it was like this, because in that script, it was supposed to be the main character, and there's supposed to be like an evil entity of him from this other reality. So it's like, okay, but at the same time, I looked at this, and I was like, that one just looked more tempting. There's a reason why, and I want to explain it, but I don't want to say it yet because it's still too early. I mean, the first one's not even out yet. I mean, had the first film been out, I would have probably dropped like a small spoiler. Maybe a small. But I don't want to because the first one's not even out yet. And I am not the type of guy who's like, okay, this is what happens, this is what happens, this is what happens, this is what happens, this is what happens. Like, no. All I'm saying is that this continues off after the first film. And if you guys don't know, the first one's coming out in... I'm the director, oh my god. July 4th. Independence Day. Why Independence Day? Because Independence Day is the most memorable day in our nation. That's just my excuse, but honestly, I just picked Independence Day just because, I mean, it's the middle of the summer. And when the time of filming does come for this, remember when I did with House, and I think hopefully every single boy remembers it. I mean, I don't know if she, maybe she does, because I remember I was helping her with her short film House, and we did like these day 1, day 2, day 3. I think it was day 1, day 2 videos. I don't know how many days we were at, but we had like, no, I think it was 3 days. I think, I'm not so sure. But if it was 3 days, okay. But I'm sure it was 2. We did like these day 1, day 2 things of filming. And we kind of had like the behind the scenes and all this other stuff. And then I'm like, okay, let's take that whole day 1, day 2 of filming and let's just throw it like that. So when this thing, I mean, and if I'm gonna do that, I mean, I gotta get done with the first film. And I mean, right now the first film, I mean, I'll let you guys know right now. Right now on my end, because I don't know if my filmmaking teacher still has this film on his Mac, but here's the thing. Right now it's in its rough cut editing phase, and I'm talking about the first film. And it's right now where I'm at. It's like in the middle of the story. So, in where I'm at, I'm actually going pretty quick on my pace because this is actually, because I was editing within like what 2 or 3 days, and editing felt great because I haven't used Premiere in like, or not Premiere, okay, I don't know, it's Premiere Pro, but I haven't used the editing program in such a long time, and it felt like such a big homecoming because I was like, this is what I used in high school, and I'm using it again, and just so many memories back of filmmaking and broadcast and just a lot of stuff. I mean, it kind of makes me sad sometimes. I'm like, high school's done, but at the same time, some parts of high school are still there, and Premiere Pro is one of them. So is filmmaking. So that's obviously still something that's probably still going to stay on probably for the rest of my life. I mean, if I do become an independent filmmaker, which I think at this point I probably, and this is actually part of the reason why, I want to see where I can stand as a filmmaker with this. Because the first film, I was like, alright, I got a little disappointed with it, and it's because of audio. The audio, I don't think, like, it's not bad, but there's, like, certain scenes where the audio sound like, ugh. So, those aren't gonna get fixed, on my end, at least. So, it's got a good storyline to it. It's great. The characters develop, but if there's one thing, and I'm just gonna let you guys know right now, it's gonna be the audio. The audio's probably gonna be the one thing that kind of like irks you just a bit. But aside from that, I think you guys will enjoy the first film, and where the second one's gonna go. And if I manage to get this one done enough, if I manage to get it done in time, get all the music and such, then I will do day one filming. And if not me, I know someone in the group is probably going to, and I'm more so talking about Jaleel, because that's something I expect from him, because he does his vlogs. So that's something I wouldn't expect from him. Austin, I just don't know about. Avery, I might consider. Okay, it's either her, Austin, or Jaleel. It's one of those three might do it. I know that much. They don't have to, but if they want to, I don't really care. I actually kind of want to do like a big whole a big journey thing, because that's something I didn't do with the first film. And I think with this one, it's like a big homecoming because it's like my first short film after a year. So it's like a big continue. And why did I choose this script over the other two? Because actually, you guys don't know this, but AHS is actually what made me start filmmaking, and it's actually why I stopped. So I figured, why not continue the story and bring myself back? Because I was like, let me do this. Like, just me coming back to filmmaking because it was AHS that made me start filming, and it was what made me stop for a while. So I thought, how about I bring myself back with almost the same, let me bring myself back with that storyline, and let me take it forward. And that's actually why I'm filming this. And if there's one thing I gotta say about the storyline, it's really, for me, it brought a lot of emotions when I was writing the script. Not just while I was writing the script, but also just like when I was reading it. Like, so many impactful moments happened, and I'm not gonna say what those moments are, but when the time comes, when the days fly by, I'll let you know. And also, here's the other thing. Auditions. I am holding auditions for 5 characters. 5 characters do need because there are 5 new characters. Okay, technically 6, but the 6th one is, he's not, I can't say anything yet about the 6th character. But, here's the thing. There are 5 characters, 5 new ones, at least. There's 2 girls, and I believe it's, wait, Melody, Krista. Yeah, it's 5 characters, so it's 2 new girl characters. One of them's not really that important. Okay, fine. No, I'm not gonna say it like that, but there are 2 girls and, well, 2 female characters, and then 3 guy characters. So auditions on that, you can send them. You can send them to me by YouTube, just make YouTube videos and just send them to me, and I'll look over them. Because that's something I don't know what happened, because when Jay and I were making the KGLE film, which never got made when we managed to get the trailer done. I think Avery did a audition video, so I think I don't know if she still has it, but if she does, I'll link that in the description, and you can just you can take her video as an example, and that way you can just send them to me. And I think that will work out for this. Like, if you can't show, because the auditions will be at Celebration Park on May 24th through May 28th, and it'll be from 2 to 4. No, 2 to 4. Wow, it'll be from 12 to 4. So, aside from that, guys, and wow, for a comeback video, it's well deserved. I'm just saying, I may have rambled on, but I brought my point across. And don't worry, this isn't gonna be like, oh, last video 5 months later, where have I been? No, it's not gonna be like that. My next video will actually be coming up pretty shortly. It's gonna be my review on The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And here's the thing about that. I won't go to the midnight premiere because of classes, obviously, but after class gets done, I'll be at the Cinemark Theater in Legacy at 8:30. And if I see any of you guys there, I mean, I'm not gonna force you, but I'm just gonna say, come. Because here's the thing, I want this to be the best experience. Because I haven't been in a movie theater in a while, but also I want to make this the best experience. Because this is a film I've been waiting since the first Spider-Man was finished. I was like, when this comes out, I'm gonna make this the best experience ever, and that's what I want to make it. So, if you guys show up, don't hesitate to come. Like, don't hesitate, like, to join. Because, hey, the more people, the more the merrier, is what I always say. And aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it. I gotta get back on my workout routine, actually. And why am I working out? You'll know. Because I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff at the moment, and I don't want to reveal it just yet. But aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Chirag. It's been a crazy night, midnight calling, talking about my next film, and yeah, I mean, 5 months, and I came back. And the second film, like I said before, I'll be back soon. It's not gonna be a long hiatus. It'll just probably be just a couple days, if anything, to say the least. So aside from that, guys, I'm Chirag. Have a great night, and I'll catch you on my review and my reaction to The Amazing Spider-Man 2.